you know, how did he discover this elder god? Well, through his research at the library in Bull. Actually,
how Lovecraftian is that? That's ultimately. I'm sorry. It's like I keep throwing that term around, but this is basically what we're going for. That's kind of the vibe.
There's actually a specific city you could be from.
Dude, nice. Wait, like Candlekeep?
Yeah, that was what I was thinking.
Candlekeep. There we go.
Yeah,
Candlekeep
you're from
character.
Candlekeep.
He's just spent a long time just doing research.
Sure.
And he or she spent so long that they kind of found the answer. And it's a really horrifying answer to whatever question they're asking.
But it's giving you the insight to wield powerful magics.
Yeah, just powerful, frightening magic.
Apparently, Arg. Delay is real. Why do the gods hate us? I also don't know if the audio is working, so I'm just going to type that in.
I did desecrate a lot of temples back in the day. It was a phase that I went through. All the cool kids were doing it. They were like, "Hey Peter, let's go wreck that shrine to Apollo." And I was like, "Well, I mean, you know, I would like that the social currency that would give me." So, you know, we would draw genitalia on that shrine and pee on it.
Phil says, "Damn it, Peter."
I'm sorry, Phil.
I disconnected my netbook from the Wi-Fi. Maybe that'll help.
Maybe?
I mean, I shouldn't have been doing anything, but it'll also increase my battery life since I don't have it plugged in.
Ratchet Joel's cat, help us. Pod the cables and didn't use cat magic to fix it.
Cat magic?
Cat mage. You just shoot cats and everything. You just do that. So is the summon swarm spell still in the game? I kind of forget, or I forget what it's called, but the one where you summon like just small, like really, just kind of like 1d3.
This is in alphabetical, so it's probably just under summon. There's probably a bunch of them.
I would assume.
Let's find out.
That would be great, because that one was so funny. I remember summoning a bunch of ferrets with that one. Just to mess up a party. I just summoned a bunch of ferrets.
Sweet.
Peter, if you want to scoot back, I guess to your left a little bit. Sorry. Just scoot that way, you'll be better in the camera. There you go.
Oh, in the camera? Oh,
yeah, you're kind of... Problem. Nothing fixed. It's a little bit louder. That's about it. Maybe about the same.
Any summoning spells?
Weird.
It might be under like monster, summon or something.
Oh, maybe so.
Let's see. If anyone's gonna have them, it's gonna be warlocks.
Oh, that's right. This is where it needs to be.
Oh, maybe it's under conjure stuff. Well, I know there's like conjure.
Well, I know a big issue in a lot of editions has been summoning spells are stupid powerful.
Yeah. Conjure woodland beings. Okay. Conjure fae. Conjure minor elementals.
Conjure barrage.
Conjure celestial.
Conjure not summon. Yes. Yes. Thank you, Smash.
Okay. Conjure animals.
Conjure celestial.
Oh, okay, so just conjure animals kind of works. You can conjure 8 beasts of challenge rating 1/4 or lower, so you can just conjure 8 kittens. Just kittens!
Alright, so I'm on the sorcerer page for whenever we're ready to start, if you guys haven't already.
We've mostly been talking about backgrounds
for
the sorcerer.
Trying to figure out what we'll do with the warlock and stuff.
Why don't we write down our chart info of CR rating 1/4 for conjure animals.
Oh, do we need this?
No, this is just information. We were just talking about conjuring animals, but we're going to need the chart for the stats.
Oh, yeah. So our sorcerer here. So
the sorcerer.
Okay, sorcerer.
Huh?
They still didn't have any video running for some reason.
Unless it cut out randomly, we should be okay.
Well, I think somebody would have mentioned it. No, there it is. It was just my phone.
Okay. And then I think we went with wild. I think she went with wild magic, right? So that is the type of sorcerer we already have, right?
Yes.
Since Lauren is not here, we will probably use whatever feedback you guys would like to weigh in to help develop the last bit of her character.
Well, so what we have so far is that it's a tiefling sorcerer, long blonde hair, tan brown skin, reddish hues, and silver eyes. Her horns are actually large,
right?
pale deer antlers.
Oh, sorry.
Sweet.
Rather than the standard sort of demonic chaos mage. And what we're going to do is we're going to add something random into the table where if the chaos magic hits a certain number, her horns will change.
Oh, that's rad.
So that's going to be one of her little character quirks. She was a criminal background, where she was originally as a child. She was born to a family of humans who hadn't had a tiefling in a long time, and so she was sort of turned into an outcast and sort of cast out of her family, and which ended her up on the streets. And as a result, she was sort of taken in by a criminal organization who was like, "Hey, this girl's kind of crazy powerful. She's throwing around magic." And so she became their enforcer. And if I can find my criminal background, I can go into more detail about who she is.
Let me do the basics too. Let's see here.
So she's an enforcer. She's very caustic towards being insulted. It's her personality trait. It's trait number 8.
Oh, yeah.
Which is I blow up at the slightest insult. It comes from her being mocked and, sort of mentally abused over her life. She's, ideal was 5. She's extremely loyal to her friends' ideals. She wants to sort of do her own thing and go her own way. Bond number 5. She's the reason she ended up leaving the criminal organization was that she eventually realized that what she was doing was wrong, and this came about because she committed a horrible crime, and she realized how much she was making others suffer was not a good place to be. So Bond number 5 is that she's guilty of a terrible crime that she's trying to redeem herself of. Her flaw is that she has a tell that reveals whenever she's lying, so she's a terrible liar. I'm thinking I may incorporate the chaos magic into that somehow. Let's see. Yeah, her stats are all done. She's actually, I think she's the smartest character we have.
So far. Till the wizard, probably.
So strength.
We're doing good.
Okay.
Just making sure our space is doing well.
Her cantrips are Thunderwave and Firebolt. I believe those are her cantrips.
Those are good ones. Hard as well. So you can say, boom, chakalaka.
For
charge in and just explode.
And says, let me turn up the heat! Oh, check, you monster.
The funny thing is, I made that name for that character without thinking about the pun at all. And then, after I wrote up the character, I was like, wait a minute.
Checkmate!
Checkmate, sucker. If that character is, picked, I would just wait the entire campaign for a scenario where, for instance, maybe he has to, go across, a tightrope or something, and he would say, looks like it's time for some checks and balances. Boom! Just nat 20 instantly. Or nat 1 and just
falls. Okay, so the a 10 for strength. Okay, so she got a 10 for strength. 11 for Dex, 14 for Constitution,
Nice.
14 for Intelligence,
Nice.
14 for Wisdom.
What?
Oh.
Jesus.
I believe Thunderwave is a cantrip. I'm not certain. I didn't actually go to look it up to double check.
Actually, it's a first level
Is it
spell.
first level spell?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of her first
So
levels.
it's her 2 first level spells, I guess.
Yeah.
Was all
She's she doesn't have an age yet, right?
No, she does.
Okay, so what's her age and sex?
Age female. Age is 24. Height is 5'7", and weight is 155 pounds.
What was the weight?
One.
All these weird American numbers if you're watching.
That's right. Pounds and not the money.
Okay, looking good.
You said her personality and everything else already, right? So far?
Yeah,
yes.
we can
Okay.
rehash it.
Yep.
You're good, Matt.
Personality.
Is just have
Huh?
unless personality is personality trait.
I think it's part of background. Or I don't have background on you. That's what I'm missing.
Yeah. Because personality is
You can
part
put it on
of
the side.
certain ones.
Yeah.
No, but hers is. I guess yeah. I think you mean it's trait.
Yeah.
Personality trait.
Trade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just
Background
noticed-
is criminal.
Yeah. Background is criminal.
So if you want to put that on the side or something. I don't know.
Oh, that's her background. Yeah.
Yeah. No. Personality is
Personality.
8, which is I blow up at the slightest insult.
There's an 8, guys.
It's
Look at
totally
that.
an 8. There we go. That works. Yeah, that's looking good.
Her
Blows up at the
Wait,
spikes.
what was the 8?
I blow
Blows
up.
up insults, yeah.
Okay.
Ideal is 5. I'm loyal to my friends, not to any ideals.
Friends. Okay.
Take that, ideals.
Bond is 5. Guilty of a terrible crime and hopes she can redeem.
Could just say guilty.
Just guilty. Yeah.
Or guilty of crime.
Of crime.
Yeah. She be criming.
Flaw is 4. Just she has a tell that reveals when she's lying.
I'm just gonna put bad liar.
Yeah. Bad
Just
liar.
Even though her charisma is so high, it's funny.
for intimidation. She didn't select any skills.
Did she roll a trinket?
No.
Ooh. Guys, again, feel free to add to these. These are just the rolls. We love to add more to these characters than
Yeah.
what we roll. to them.
Specialty is enforcer. She has her background has a specialty category, which is
okay.
enforcer, which is number 3. Because there's different kinds of criminals.
Criminal enforcer.
So,
So she needs a trinket. What page are the trinkets on again?
160. 161, yeah, put it up for folks.
I can only have, unfortunately, one page, guys, so you'll have to deal with the one. I will scroll to the next one, though, after I let 160 sit for a bit.
A small packet filled with pink dust.
Silver skull, the size of a coin.
You said 160 and 161?
Ah,
A dead sprite inside a clear glass bottle.
For some reason, it's not right here. It's been right before.
Oh, now I kind of wish that the Bard character had an old divination card bearing your likeness. Clearly, I'm destined for greatness. Look at this card. He's like,
Trinket.
I still love the rabbit's foot for the paladin.
yeah, perfect.
Just like the pauldron. They have a rabbit's foot.
He's so tiny.
2 toy soldiers, one with a missing head.
I bet the warlock gets of a goblin.
I'm gonna just use
What
the-
does it
the
mean?
dice roll. Rather than
Huh? I'm using it for both so everyone can see everything, you know. It's all 150.
Oh yeah, we're gonna roll this on the table, or we're gonna roll it on your phone thingy.
We can roll it on the table. I figured that way they have a chance to look at the trinkets again.
Yeah. Alright. 100.
That's only if they want us to roll. They may come up with a good trinket. Remember we used the warm obsidian to the touch for the monk because someone.
Well,
I think it was X/Slash
Yep.
who came out with that one, which was awesome.
it's a slash.
X/Slash. So that's Slash.
This is in the Zylo
like
phone.
okay.
Xanatos.
Oh yeah, that's right, Xanatos.
Like Xanatos. Okay, so I'll just do a roll, but if we get a suggestion, then
We'll see what it is and change it.
then we'll take into consideration. 30.
30, a blank book whose pages refuse to hold ink, chalk, graphite, or any other substance or marking.
That would be
That's
the
a
most
good one.
hilarious thing for a wizard.
No!
I must discern the magic of this book.
Although for a sorcerer, that kind of works pretty well too.
Turns
Yeah.
out it's just a.
It's just trollery.
No, it sends your writing to another book that's millions of miles away. It's across the other side of the planet.
That would be perfect.
And
You're constantly
sending
writing
these
things.
random, who has the other book?
And someone else just doesn't know what their book means. And it's just it keeps coming up with weird phrases on its own. First it seems like it's a journal entry, and then it says, "What the hell?" And then it says, "Come on," and then it's a bunch of scribbles. This is weird.
That's dick butt.
This is a horrible book. This is a stupid magical book. I don't get it.
Why don't we go and roll again then for the sorcerer?
Really? Someone said, oh, okay.
Roll again.
we'll get
Well, okay, yeah, let's
Get a couple
roll
choices.
again. Let's get some different choices, but I like 30. I think 30 is a pretty cool, an interesting one. 21. Blackjack.
A tiny gnome crafted music box from your childhood. I like that for this character.
Oh, that does
because,
work pretty
because
well.
of her troubled childhood. I think it
Yeah.
works.
Oh.
Yeah, that actually works, better. I mean, I like the blank book just because that would be interesting for, any character, but
Right.
but that actually works.
I'm going to write that down at least temporarily. So what's 21? It's
21, tiny music box.
So, I mean, I would love to see more additions to these characters. Because really, so far, a lot of us have only gotten the basics. We rolled, and we didn't add much to them yet. We didn't get a ton of suggestions. We've got a couple with, we got with the monk last time.
Mm-hmm.
We added, I think it was an additional bond or something. It was a different idea. We added something to it.
Mm-hmm.
And then the paladin last time got the ADHD, which explains the low stats and everything else that we got from that one, which is, again, a whole... By the way, for everyone there, because the character sheet is almost done, but it has currently the highest armor class out of anybody.
Oh, yeah.
It is at an 18, and as soon as he gets to level 2, it's a 19.
Mm-hmm.
If I take the certain feat to make it higher.
Number 8 stood
For
for
a paladin.
suggested. A small idol depicting a nightmarish creature that gives you unsettling dreams when you sleep near it. I think that should be a warlock.
Ooh.
Yeah, actually, that would be...
We're stealing that for the warlock.
I think that's really good.
I
I think a lot of the trinkets would be good for this particular warlock we're kind of thinking of, just because they're all just so weird and they'd just be freaked out by whatever it is. But that particularly just yeah. And for some reason, he or she keeps it. Why don't you just get rid of that thing? No,
it's a. You just need to find the nightcap that when worn gives you pleasant dreams that you can counteract the.
Yeah, that would maybe be the only character that would actually keep it, because I feel that trinket, that particular trinket, really great, but I don't know, most of the characters, be hard to think of, like, why wouldn't you just get rid of that? Just like, you know what? No.
You can't. It's just keep
Like, they would have to
reappearing in your bag.
Yeah, it would either have to, like, be magical and just keep reappearing, or a character that you just think, like, man, I keep having these bad nightmares, and then just settle down, this, like, sleeping on this nightmarish thing, like, right in the face.
Keeps it in his bedroll. The shell of an egg painted with scenes of human misery and disturbing detail.
Oh my god.
It's painted with the picture from,
Whoa. That's great.
Picture from Cabin in the Woods.
Why do you have to be like that?
Now you're joining us, Joel Cat.
Lauren had a pretty solid idea for the character, but she's sadly not here to reinforce it.
But it's pretty much set up.
It seems pretty great. I like the feel of it. It's wild magic. It's going to be silly. It'll be fun at the same time.
I mean, she made it before, so this is basically our pre-made character.
Only one for the...
Now we're gonna make some characters. So who are we gonna? Let's take a picture of this.
Yeah.
Make sure to get a good.
I think I'm the only one who has a camera to take a photo with, other than maybe Darby. Or do you want me to just?
I do. Once you go ahead and do it, and then you can just upload it because your
So
phone's
guys,
already set up.
everybody, just prepare for the ultimate moment because we're gonna do camera on camera on camera kind of action here.
Dun, dun, dun.
You can let's see here.
In front of the camera. Okay, now it's alright.
Okay. Snagged.
Cool.
I will open up the Dice app.
Okay, so we are looking for.
That works really well. So yeah, what are we starting with?
Rogue.
We're doing the rogue.
We're gonna do the
Alright.
rogue. So
I
that's
feel like we rogue, sorcerer, warlock, wizard, so we'll do the rogue.
just do it in order.
Yep.
We did jump over the rogue and do the sorcerer, but it's good.
Well, I figured we jump into that because that's the only pre-made one,
Yeah.
and then we can get it out.
Yeah.
Purple.
I think that's good, right? We can keep writing.
Perfect.
I think it's time to reinvest in paper towels.
Yeah, we need that.
They're the exact same price as the toilet paper, so it's pretty easy.
Guys, if you want to help,
Or just send us paper towels.
send us toilet paper.
Why not?
Every year, more and more dudes who live in an apartment together don't have enough toilet paper or paper towels.
I think that's more true of women rather than.
For pennies a day, you can help.
We are
Won't you
forgetting,
help?
Peter, I'm sorry, but you've actually terminated one of your contracts because we've streamed live. This is our third time. I think you've breached your contract with Olive Garden.
Oh my god, I forgot!
Oh,
Come
wait,
on
did
down.
you wait, no. Did you see the advertisement they have for unlimited soup and salad and breadsticks for a week?
Okay,
Wait,
that's
what?
That's so. Actually, this is not a joke. I am sponsored by Olive Garden. That's totally truth. It's not a lie. And thus I'm contractually obligated in every stream to say, come on down to your local favorite Olive Garden for fun for the whole family and food. Mostly fun, but some food. Try our unlimited bread, sticks, soup, and salad this week, all week, and animal. Just sleep on the floor. We don't care. Just pay $8.99, and you can just stay at Olive Garden and just eat forever. Don't go to your job. We don't want you to do that. Don't go. Stay forever at Olive Garden. Olive Garden. Your life means nothing anyway.
So I think before I go to the Dice app, I'll leave the rogue page open just because we'll get to the dice when we get to the dice.
So they have a thing where it's like for a week? Like, how does that work?
I think you buy like a pass or something, and you just can just go in with your pass and get the unlimited deal.
That sounds horrible. Even if it's like super cheap, that's just like if you're taking them up on that offer, like That's really sad. Like you've gotten to a very low place in your life, and you might want to reconsider some things.
Hey man, you can down.
But like, at what cost?
At
How
the
old
low
are those
cost
vegetables?
of $8.99.
Oh my god. Olive Garden is just so good for jokes. I'm sorry for anyone who really legitimately likes Olive Garden. I just, for some reason, they're just prime material.
Well, Darth Vader says Papa Kraken just shakes his head. Okay, so
Still trying to get to the road page, but
page 94.
oh,
Roguish archetypes. So
There
here's
you go.
one thing to maybe first consider: which kind of archetype do you think you'd want to go for?
you know, to be honest, and that's why I'm trying to pull it up so everyone can take a look at it. Which is, I have yet to really look at the rogue at all.
Be a lowdown.
I have it open too. I'm just trying to get them up to pace with us.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of giving you the lowdown too. So there's like 3 different archetypes, which is kind of cool. You know, basically all the classes have these different archetypes, different paths, and they're basically like just different variations on that archetype of the rogue. You know, that kind of stealthy, sneaky character. So there's the thief, where you get a lot of bonuses to basically like stealing stuff, being really agile, that kind of stuff.
There you guys go. Now you know what he's talking about.
And doing ambushes and stuff like that, and traps and the like. Then you've got the assassin, which is, you know, focused on just like making the kill, you know, that kind of stuff. You can even, like, there's this cool imposter thing where you can basically like study people and just like basically make yourself to look like, do an extreme disguise check to essentially and just cool, you know, killing stuff. And then the very interesting arcane trickster, where basically that's for a rogue who also has a decent intelligence stat, and you are essentially a sneaky spellcaster. And you can do cool stuff where it's like you get this special kind of mage hand where you can cast mage hand, which is like you create this kind of magical hand that does stuff for you. And the arcane trickster can cast it, make the hand invisible, and the hand can basically steal stuff, like, at a distance, steal things. You can basically use the hand to take something out of one person's pocket and then put it into another person's pocket, all invisibly. You can, you know, cast spells, like, from stealth to do, like, extra damage and stuff. And
I'm just going to say, man,
cool stuff.
The Arcane Trickster sounds like a DM.
Oh, I know. It seems horrible.
It's just like all right, how are you going to get past these guards?
Mage hand.
Mage hand. Okay, well, that was fun.
Right?
You've been caught.
The thing is with spellcasters, like, Mage Hand already, like, messes with so many scenarios already.
Ghost
And
sounds
then-
my favorite.
Oh, yeah, Ghost Sound, Mage Hand, and then you have an Arcane Trickster who can do all this stuff stealthily. It's like, it's crazy. There's so many possibilities going on.
So Slash also recommended the Urchin background for the rogue.
Cool.
That sounds cool. I think we need an Urchin in our pool of characters. That would be cool.
Magical Urchin.
Background.
And, I mean, it could work for pretty much any of these archetypes. So, I mean, like, the Thief is pretty cool, too. Like, I really like when you gain the archetype at 3rd level, you gain the ability to climb faster than normal, so that when you cost any extra movement, you can basically just climb 30 feet. And you can jump really far, so you can just climb around, and you can sneak way better.
We haven't made up our mind. We really like magic.
Magic's cool. I mean, of course, and then the Assassin is just very cool. The Assassin has some, like, very interesting, cool stuff. The infiltration and the deaths, like, you know, cool stuff for just being, you know, I mean, and they're very different characters. You know, are you just kind of a cold-blooded killer? Are you more of a, just kind of a lovable, rogue kind of thief? Or are you just a ridiculous, weird, stealthy magic person? Like, in which, I don't know, you can go anywhere with that.
I've always felt like a lot of the damage focusing tend to lose all the things that make rogues interesting.
Yeah, they're
It's
not
like
as focused
they get
on like the technique,
Yeah,
the
they
skills.
get so focused
Yeah.
on killing things, they stop like opening doors.
Well, I like that the assassin doesn't just have. I think they thought of that because it's not just about like this death strike thing. They start early on where you do get bonuses early on, but this stuff where you can
Infiltrate.
create false identities for yourself, where you can basically, so like the assassin is good at just like infiltrating places and like making themselves look like others, and basically some Assassin's Creed business where you're essentially just kind of like fading into crowds and doing that kind of stuff. So it seems like there's a bit more opportunity for making it a role playing experience.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like,
not.
I do damage. It's like
It's not the rogue who's just like sneaks up behind and hits you. It's a rogue who sneaks into a party. Story of who they actually are, and everyone believes it,
and then makes a seduction like, oh, there's that lady killer and Lord blah blah blah, and while he's like stabbing him.
Let's go to the kitchen. That's always been a safe place.
Let's go into the coffee room. Nothing bad ever happens in the coffee room.
Jeez, get a room, you guys. Oh, now she's fainted. You must be wow, all right. Oh God! Oh!
Where'd he go? He disappeared in a fucking
Where'd the
smoke.
Lord go? This is going to be quite a field day for the
so
news.
did you know what class you want, or race you want?
I actually thought, because we don't really have any elves, this seemed like either as a half-elf or an elf would be great at some point. I didn't even look at the stats
a half-elf
for
urchin.
a half-elf urchin can kind of make like,
That
a
would
cool
be
story.
intense.
Half-elves work really well. They would work really well for the assassin because they get the +2 to charisma, +2 to charisma, and
I feel
then
like any rogue would benefit from that.
2 other ability scores are increased by 1.
That's
for
yeah.
the game. They get the dark vision, and they get Fey ancestry, and they get extra skills.
Where's the half-elf located?
Ooh, page 39.
Yeah, there it is.
Okay.
Oh yeah, dark vision for a rogue. And the charisma bonus. I think charisma is kind of cool. I feel like rogue characters are underrepresented in terms of being like skill, because they have more skills and they can be more charismatic, and they're kind of like usually the character that kind of that's better at non-combat scenarios and at dealing with problems without combat. Because they can sneak around, they can talk their way through stuff. I mean, rogues can be interesting stuff.
What's the they're all still on that page, but in regards to the thief again, what kind of cool stuff can this thief do?
The thief is
Use magic device, fast hand. So it's like literally just like stealing stuff.
Yeah,
The climbing is super cool.
I was actually like against the assassin, but the assassin kind of feels like it's in the roleplay aspect. It actually kind of fits well now versus like it just being. What's the other one? Arcane Trickster. I'll go to the next page for that.
Cool,
No,
but
I just fixed it.
just in terms of just like a gameplay aspect, I will say it's like abilities and stuff, which I'm sure Darby can take the challenge as a DM, but it can be kind of difficult where it's like, okay, it's like, I don't know, sometimes it's the kind of thing where it's like, it does seem like it's all suited for like solo, like wet ops type stuff, where it's like, it's kind of hard to also have like, the Paladin's going to join you too. It's like, okay, wait in the car. Assassination mission. It's like, all right, which can be, it can work where you either have them doing a side thing or.
Well, the great thing about that is you don't have to decide until partway through. So if you get paired up with the right people, you can do one thing. If you don't, you do another thing.
That's true, because it is 3rd level, so he could end up just doing something else.
The only downside is that if you wanted to go Arcane Trickster, you sort of have to decide early for your stats. Because you have to have a good intelligence. Would just make your spells less effective.
It does seem like, most rogue characters can benefit from a higher intelligence, but not that much.
That gives you your insight, I believe, and wisdom is perception.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, really, that is the main thing. Where just like you gotta decide. It sounds like you're leaning towards you'd be either a thief or an assassin.
Yeah, and I think that's where I'm leaning too. I like the idea of either a thief or an
Thief is really nice because it looks like it would give you a lot of options for breaking into places. Like, oh, we need to get into this keep undetected. Well, here, let me lead the way.
Essentially, yeah. Essentially, like the way I see it is essentially you have the thief who is like good at sneaking around, breaking into things.
Climbing is so
Yeah,
important.
they're the ones
You
who
can
break
climb
into
up so
everything.
fast.
Versus you have the assassin who's good about like the social interaction, who can slip in and out of a crowd or into the right place at the right time to get to they need be, or just dish out damage.
We don't have a social charismatic character yet.
We
I mean,
really
we have some
don't.
characters with charisma, but not ones that are very social. Most of the charismatic characters are antisocial.
Yeah, I know. They just kind of have a force of willpower, and they kind of have willpower going on, but they're not.
I still think that can work though, both as the thief and the assassin. It's just is anyone online got a recommendation for this one? Because
the thief can. I mean, be a thief who's also charismatic. Sometimes you need to talk your way out of the scenario where it's like, what am I doing in your bedroom? Well.
And from what I'm looking at these two, you've got basically the thief who has higher intelligence because you're using magic device and those kind of things, or you've got the thief who's the assassin who's got the higher charisma, so the social interaction.
Right.
Yeah.
Or I mean, whatever the spells are.
I guess I'm just saying, like you can still be a talker for either of these.
That does depend on the state.
Well, why don't we roll the stats then and figure it out?
Okay.
Because, I mean, again, you don't have to decide
So
right now. It's more about
I think we're still in the favor of a half elf though.
Yeah, I
I
like
like the idea of a half elf, right?
I think I like that.
You get a lot of bonuses, very few drawbacks.
Yeah, what was it, like charisma and then an extra 2 points just
Yeah,
to put in other
two
things?
charisma, and then you get 2 other plus ones.
Cool. Let's say half elf then. And then they were saying who was saying that the back.
Was recommending Urchin.
Okay, I put Urchin down already.
Darth Ramar was recommending that we that if you get a decent intelligence score to go with the arcane trickster and otherwise do an assassin.
Okay. All right, so we're going to pull up our now virtual dice roll. Now that we've got this thing.
I will say on the subject of charismatic thieves, what I usually do whenever I as possible. And I always buy a cheap ring, so that if I ever find a more expensive ring or a magical ring, I can steal it and put it on my finger and lie convincingly that I've always had this ring.
I've always had. Did you not notice
Notice
this
it,
ring?
yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good ring.
Yeah.
Don't you like this ring? I got it from a friend. Actually, a former lover. I shouldn't tell the story. Maybe I will. Well, tell me more.
All right. So this is the first time we've used the Dice app live on here on this stream, but it's been good. We used it on one of our other streams. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Gives you guys a chance to see what we roll versus these tiny little dice on our table.
Versus
Even though
that nonsense.
I really do love rolling those.
It was
I love the feel of
nice.
it, but we want to make this better for you guys. And so this app is actually really great. We've got some great ideas for it. We just need time. And so hopefully by the time we launch, it'll be ready to go.
So because of character portraits and how quickly we're going to be able to get them done, what I think we'll do is I'll go into the old public domain D&D pictures, pick out stuff for the characters, and we'll upload them with those.
Oh, until we get the custom
ones.
Cool.
Because I'll talk to our artist on Thursday, but I don't know what progress she's made, if any.
Yeah.
Because again, she's got school.
Exactly.
Well, it also seems like, maybe we should just wait until we actually, pick the characters until we have...
What we had wanted to do was have them ready
Just have the
by
poll.
next week so that we can put them up for the voting. But
That way you get a cool visual to go with it too. But I guess here goes the first dice roll on this new app.
Do it.
8, 11.
11.
It's not terrible.
It's not bad.
So I'll put it off here to the side. Yeah, we can see that.
Starting off to a very average start. That's good. Averages are...
11, 14.
Okay, that's better.
Ooh, 6.
Snake eyes.
Low con, maybe.
Ooh, there's a 16.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Well, so far we can turn that 11 into a 12.
Yeah.
14.
Actually, this is pretty decent. Just like
1, 2,
one
3,
dump
4,
stat.
5. Ooh, that's another 16.
Nice. So that's actually pretty close to a stat build. I mean, in the regular stat build, you can't build above a 15 or below an 8, but I mean, it's about right. It evened out. So that was a pretty good average. It's a high average, actually.
You're gonna
and then
have,
let's
you're
put
gonna have a
down-
dump stat. I'm assuming
So
it's
we
going to
get
be wisdom, but I don't know.
Plus 2
Yeah, because then you want
plus
insight.
1 and plus 1 to any.
So let's
Right? It's a plus 1 to any.
Yeah,
And it's 2 plus 1?
2 plus 1 standing, yeah.
Actually, I guess.
Which you could put both into the same stat. You could turn that 6 into, a plus 4 with turning charisma and just turn it into a 10.
Actually, given that rogues are focused so much on like
Dex.
you need finesse weapons. Like you can't even do a sneak.
2 other ability scores.
So actually, maybe the dump stat that 6 could be your strength.
It might
You're not
be.
strong.
Yeah, that's true. Because you don't need it for your combat.
Yeah.
You don't really need it.
The only thing I would ever have to use it for is like,
You're
do
like
you pin this
malnourished.
person down? Never.
You're-
It actually makes sense being a malnourished character. You have a low strength. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me go into the. Let's see. Here we go. Here's the skill.
I kind of like the idea of the malnourished 6, and then, I mean, obviously, role playing wise, it won't go up, but we just ability points into it as we level up, or
If you want to, although it just seems like it's pretty much the dump stat for.
it kind of
it's like
seems
for-
it is.
Well,
Though the other dump stack is a con, I think, for the rogue.
Although strength is strength does affect like your athletics and stuff.
And your carrying
But-
capacity.
But you do. Oh yeah, carrying capacity. I forgot about that. But you do have proficiency bonus. You could even choose T's on your athletics to make it so like that. Basically, that check, which would be the only kind of like strength-based check.
Actually, let's find out if this is a male or female.
Yeah, let's see that.
I think it's, again, half and half, right? Oh, I should pull the dice back up.
Makes
So
sense to me.
as a rules note, we are going to be playing with carrying capacity. I don't know if we're going
Cool.
to play with encumbrance. It is an optional rule,
Okay.
so I don't know if I want to deal with encumbrance, but we will deal with carrying capacity. So once
Okay.
you get to
Yeah.
a certain volume, you
I have 50-50 right now, unless you guys want to change the odds from more than 50-50.
that seems fair.
Okay.
Seems fair.
So, 1 guy, 2 girl?
Sure.
Okay. It's a
A
girl.
lady. All right.
Ended up with about 50% female characters.
Nice.
So we have a girl.
Mostly knowledge checks.
So I'm thinking the 16 and the 16 in both charisma and dex. Or I guess I could put the 14 technically into charisma, and that would jump it up to a 16.
That'd give you 3 16s.
That'd give me 3 6. Or I could go with like 18, which is also kind of cool for a stat. But charisma, I guess that makes you just overly charismatic.
Charisma, deception, intimidation, performance, and persuasion.
Ooh, that sounds like.
Your ability to blend into a crowd, find the good gossip conversation. Intelligence also gives you investigation.
Ooh, okay, so that needs to be high too then. Well, I got 14. I mean, I got 14s and 16s, so
Yeah, I mean you've got pretty good choices there. I will say, it sounds like if you're going for that malnourished urchin character,
I think this-
it sounds like it sounds like maybe the 12 should be your con.
that's what I'm
And the
thinking.
6
Yeah,
is your strength.
I'm thinking
just,
the 6
just
is the
role play,
strength.
and then everything else is going to be your pretty decent.
I'm honestly thinking the 6 is a strength if no one else is weighing in on mine.
Nothing
Yeah.
yet. There's some information for a trinket, but we'll get to that.
I mean, you have to have a 16 in dex. That's like not even an argument.
Yeah.
Like, you need to have a 16 there, metagame wise, and for any
I mean,
kind
you
of
can
rogue.
make that into a 17 so that when you eventually level up, you can buff it.
Yeah, I thought about that. I'm just writing down the base stats first.
Inside.
I do think the con should be the 11. That makes a little bit more sense, a little bit more durable living in the streets. I could bump that up, technically.
Well, and then you can give that to +1.
Yeah, exactly.
Just you give it a solid 12.
The charisma, I don't know. Like, I'm torn on putting the charisma as a 14 versus a 16.
Let's see.
Well, you already get a +2 to your charisma, so you might as well give that the 14, and it's going to be a 16.
Well, that's what. But then it could be an 18 charisma, so even
18.
yeah, just super charismatic.
Intense.
Overly charismatic character.
We don't.
We have the 19 for the sorcerer, but
I mean, that was.
she's sort of anti-social.
But by doing that, then we have also again a wiser or more smart character too. I mean, 14s are still really good regardless for intelligence and wisdom.
In intelligence,
Maybe you should give the 16 to your intelligence. I mean, make this a smart character. And what if you did the, you or whoever would be playing this, maybe they might want to go for that arcane trickster. Kind of leaving that open. You kind of because I mean, honestly, this is such a nice stat block that you can intelligence is good for any rogue.
So let's go with 16, 14, and 14. So this changes to a 16. Know that. Anything can change. So we got +1/+1. I think the con.
Give it to the con.
Because
That's the only odd one out there. So
this gives it a 12, which gives it. Is always great to have extra health.
The only real odd.
I think I don't really care so much about changing the strength.
I think you just give it to Dex because Dex is your primary.
Dex
stat.
is the primary, and then
give it an extra.
And then when you get to level up, whether they can take a feat to up it by 1 and get some feat stuff, or they can just buff it.
Yeah. That's a decent stat block for a rogue. That is ooh, nice.
the 6 was a little low, but all
Like
those
the
other stats
only
are
low
beautiful.
roll,
Yeah,
yeah.
those other stats are amazing.
It turned the rogue urchin into a malnourished rogue urchin.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So I guess the next thing to take you guys to is we've got to determine background trait, ideal, bonds, flaws, and trinket. We do have the background already listed as urchin.
Okay, so we just got
Peter looked at it, and someone who was
trait 1, flaw 5.
trait 1, flaw 5. Excuse us if we're not gonna actually. If you guys are not gonna roll, then I will put it up.
Trait 1. Yes on trait 1.
Okay, so they have it up now.
So yeah, trait 1 is I hide food scraps and trinkets away in my pockets.
We already built the character for it.
Yeah.
It has to be. So the trait is 1.
Hoarder.
HORADR, right?
Yes, I believe. A pet mouse.
We already have a trait. He's a hoarder.
Yeah, I hide scraps of food
She
and trinkets.
is a
She,
hoarder.
that's right. She, excuse
I
me.
hide scraps of food and trinkets away in my pocket. I'm just reminded of the episode of DS9 when O'Brien gets sent to the virtual prison and comes back and he's
right.
dividing all his food into meals and putting them in like tinfoil packets and putting them in his pockets.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we have that. We've got ideal bond to the trinket.
So the flaw suggested was flaw 5.
Flaw 5. It's not stealing if I need it more than someone else.
Nice.
Like 4 doesn't really work. 6, 3, like 2 works
6
too.
I mean, 6 kind of works. It makes sense if you're living on the street. If you can't take yourself, you deserve to die.
Right.
Like I may be malnourished, but I'm still surviving.
Right.
That would work.
Well, okay, let's go with ideal, and we'll.
I think for flaw, if someone wants to choose, I think 3 is good, 5 is good, and 6 is good.
Why don't we go with 5 then, since that was the one suggested?
That was the one suggested? Okay.
I like that.
So 5. Justify stealing.
Come on, Darth Ramar, what do you want for the ideal?
Why don't we just roll it?
We can just roll it
Okay.
if no one wants to suggest it.
I suggest you just make a roll, and if someone wants to make a suggestion, take that into account.
Okay.
But yeah, do your fancy thing.
It's a D for which one?
D6. And Bond. Same.
Both D6s? Okay. I'm gonna be like
Shake, shake, shake.
a 2.
Community. We have to take care of each other because no one else is going to do it. Lawful. Page 141.
That could do a reroll.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do one more reroll on that one. I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
Just-
Okay, I guess you're really focused on community.
Okay, a 4 came up. Retribution. The rich need to be shown what life and death are like in the gutters.
Whoa! Some like really
He's a 99%er.
really militant 99%er.
He's a 1%er. The low 1%.
We do not actually have an evil character, and I mean,
Well, and also let's keep in mind, like when we rolled up the bar suggestion,
yeah.
it's leaning toward you know,
I mean,
kind of
it
extremely.
leans,
It's also chaotic in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, like you can interpret that in a number of ways. Basically, you have you have a sore spot for the rich.
So I'm just gonna put it off to the side so people. So ideal.
Oh, now they're going to pair up. Now people are going to pair up the urchin with paladin. It's gonna be
They have it
horrible.
on their page. So a 6. Or no, sorry. Ideal.
Yes.
A 4? Question mark.
Changed. The low are lifted up, and the high and mighty are brought down.
And
the nature of
flaw.
things.
Since we don't have a flaw yet either, and no one's made a recommendation for it.
No, the recommended flaw.
Oh, for flaws?
5.
Oh, okay. There was
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's not silly if I need it more than someone else. Oh, then I write that.
Oh,
somewhere
you wrote
else.
that in the wrong place.
Oh, I wrote that
you
ideal,
put that under
actually,
ideal.
Yeah, the ideal was
You could draw an arrow or something, just kind of switch
3 for the bond. I owe my survival to another urchin who taught me to live on the streets. I like that. That implies that the food hiding is a learned behavior.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't have an ideal, or no? We have the. We still need the ideal.
Ideal was 4, which is retribution.
Is that what we decided on?
Yeah, I thought.
No one's
Well,
weighing
sort
in.
of the roll. I mean, you did roll two
it
twos.
was said 3 or 4.
Oh, so someone did suggest 3.
Yes.
Change. Lower lifted up and the higher mighty and brought down. Changes the nature of things. It's much more.
Let's go with 4.
Yeah.
It does seem like
It's not as.
interesting.
It's not as.
It doesn't,
ideal.
It doesn't
It's not-
have to be evil. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still basically someone who just has a sore spot for the rich. It doesn't mean that they're just like a violent
And
character.
steals all their money.
Actually.
Yeah, basically,
well,
it can't be someone who's actually like fairly good. They just happen to always pick out.
Ratchet, no.
Oh God,
Joel, stop it.
Stop eating cables.
jeez, Joel.
Come on, Joel.
Ever since
Get
you
your
got
game
turned into
together.
a cat. It could be a character that just whenever they're hoarding things and they justify stealing, they're just saying like, well, I need it more than the rich do, so they always pick out rich people, and that's who they steal from. That's their mark.
Too, because it also forces even though it's evil, it does force the character the way it's written to not just to justify to killing people all the time. It's to put someone in a situation where they're poor. That's a bigger burden than dying, essentially.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
if you have the opportunity, you may cause someone a physical injury, or so they would be a untouchable or something. Like you would use in old world India or something
thing
like
is,
that
it does
to force somebody rich to become someone poor and live out their life like that.
And death.
Well, it
so
could
I
be
mean,
both.
yeah, you can interpret it essentially,
both.
and so and that's That's what I'm saying. Is like you can interpret this, and then again, maybe somebody who would play the character would just play them as just straight up, just kind of like a more villainous character.
But that's the great thing, though.
They don't have to be.
For me, the way I see it, because it says the rich need to be shown what life and death, or like in the gutters in particular. So it means you need to reduce their level of wealth by just not just killing them where they are wealthy. You need to put them down to a place of nothingness.
Or maybe leave them in a scenario where they're very likely to be murdered.
Yeah, exactly. Can they live or not?
So definitely not. So definitely not a goody two shoes character.
No,
but not necessarily completely evil.
I kind of like the idea of that one. It seems like it's flowing pretty well.
Yeah. So there's possibilities there. Is my main takeaway there. There's possibilities. It doesn't have to be an evil character. It certainly can be an evil character. That's possible here, but it's not like required.
So with that in mind, I like Bond 2.
I sponsor an orphanage?
Keep others from enjoying the face. So just
stealing
all that money, bringing all the rich people down, and then sends it off to an orphanage.
A bloody Robin Hood.
I feel like this. Although I feel like this one's. I mean, just because it seems like it seems like you could work with all of those bonds. Almost all of them.
3 was suggested,
and 3 would work.
That's cool. Yeah, I like 4 too.
5 also definitely works with the general theme.
But not 6.
Yeah, because 6 kind of directly.
I don't like 5 that much, personally. Just because it's like, if you escape the life of poverty by robbing someone, then why am I still so malnourished and stuff like that?
Oh, man.
I mean, it kind of conflicts with the basic stat rule, but at the same time, it's like, I think the character needs... God damn it, Cat.
Well, you didn't grow up proper. You had to grow up.
My life has been stunted yet.
Growth, yeah.
Too much coffee.
So
3 was suggested?
Yeah, either go with that suggestion.
3 was a suggestion, and Darth Ramar was saying that we can also pick more than one Bond.
That's true.
That's true. Both 2 and 3.
I mean, 3 and 4 can tie in together, I would say, technically.
Yeah.
They kind of sound the same. Similar.
Yeah. I don't really think that having both... It's like you sort of be one or the other. Where it's like 3 is more like somebody taught me and you owe your survival to them, but maybe they're dead now or you haven't seen them in a long time. And then 4 is...
Or it seems like 4 is almost like implied by 3 in a sense, and it's like, well, okay, yeah, you owe that urchin a lot unless he's dead.
Well, 4 would make sense if say we had a group scenario where the then you can use 4, and it's like the paladin hires him on as a retainer, pulls him out of this life of like poverty and theft, because the paladin he's not actually rich.
Oh yeah,
he's sort of outcast from his family.
Well, he's still rich, but his family just needs him gone because he's
right.
Yeah, he's the last of a line essentially.
That would actually be interesting.
That does tie into another character.
At least possibly if the paladin.
So why don't we go with 4, and then we can tie it in however we want later. It allows me to play with an NPC at some point, if necessary.
Yep, very cool. Go with 4.
We're sorry we didn't take the suggestion. We want to, but
yeah,
just some of the other characters we rolled fit this description a little bit better.
Well, so I mean, at the end of the day, if it does, it's kind of up to our DM, and you might end up making an NPC who was another urchin. It's like because those ones are similar.
So we have trinkets left again.
Should we do equipment now? Because it always seems to get put off until we're actually writing up the characters, and it just feels like it would help us write up the characters more quickly if we just do it now.
There's just I mean we could.
I just did it when I was doing the write up.
just fix stuff and we're not
Right.
rolling.
Yeah,
for any
it's
of it.
not super. Yeah, it's not super interesting. I tried to mess with it a little bit, where I gave the bard a bone xylophone.
Oh,
He
yeah.
has skill in xylophone.
Because yeah, like it lets you roll for your gold and then buy stuff, which puts you at more of a disadvantage in the game than taking the base
Right.
stuff. It just seems like it's just super boring. I mean, if someone really wants us to do it, we can list it out, but it's pretty.
Whatever.
It's pretty
We'll
quick.
skip it then.
Yeah. You do need a trinket though. But if someone thinks that there's if you have a book or if you have the PDF online, and you think there's a piece of equipment that this character should start off with, please make a
Trinket
recommendation.
5 was recommended earlier.
5.
A brass ring that never tarnishes.
Huh. I like that. It sounds cool.
You can either just go with that, just
I'm gonna go with
see
it
what
and
happens.
let's see what they think after the roll comes up. So it's 38 came up.
What's a 30?
Why do we never get anything high?
A tiny sketch portrait of a goblin.
the goblin sketch came up. It's so weird.
All right, you know what I'm
I
gonna
want
do?
you to have that.
Let's make it one more.
We actually put for the paladin, where he's a gnome who has a rabbit's foot pauldron.
No, halfling.
Oh, halfling. Yes,
Halflings
sorry,
are just so
halfling.
tiny.
A halfling with a rabbit's foot pauldron, so the single shoulder on his armor.
Oh,
Halflings are just really tiny in this.
a 96 came up on one of these rolls.
A black pirate flag adorned with this dragon's skull and crossbones.
I think I like the suggested.
Yeah.
It feels
Sketch
really.
portrait of goblin. I'm not gonna have a sketch portrait of
Well,
goblin.
see, I already took the sock, Peter.
This is also for random loot later in the game. So
Okay.
you may, while
Sketch portrait better show
killing
up.
goblins, you may find a sketch portrait of a goblin.
And this character being a hoarder will take it.
Why did someone make this?
Need it. Mine.
I hit need on everything. So many bad groups. So much bad. Well, paladin in a keep. Just long story short, epic shield drop, which I need for my shield paladin. The warlock hits a need. I need disenchanted for resource. Screw you.
Wow.
No, see, but this guy just needs anything because it says trinkets. So he
Yeah.
didn't need any random trinkets. Like everyone else would not care about it. And he's just like,
But
or she's
her-
like,
with her strength of 6, she fill up her possessions. Like, no. Get someone else to carry it for her.
so
with her
5, a
charisma.
brass ring that never tarnishes. I think. Oh, we need height and weight and sex, or no, age. Sorry, because at the beginning, which I'm not gonna flip to for them unless they have just a suggestion, just because it's just basic rolls.
Yeah.
What page
so
is
let's
it on
see.
again?
121. So you're going for half elf. You have a base height of 4 feet 9 inches, and your height modifier is 2d8. Since you're using that, just kind of remember what your total is.
Yeah. An 8 and a 6. Wow, pretty tall.
So
That's
14.
14.
Okay, so 14.
Half elf. So that puts it at 5'9". Plus an extra 2, so 5'11".
5'11".
18 was a suggested age.
All right.
I think young makes sense.
Yeah.
Just for half elves versus humans.
Humans.
Is
They
it-
live a little longer.
Oh, okay. So yeah, I think
So
that's,
18.
I think 18 works.
18 years
Adulthood
old.
around 20, live to 180.
Perfect. So 8 herd, 18. Weight is 5'11".
The height is 5'11".
Oh yeah, sorry. Duh. 5'11". So
you
tall,
rolled a-
pretty tall girl.
So you rolled a 14. Now you're gonna roll a 2d. Apply them together.
So here's the best part. I can hold these in
Oh,
place, and then I
I
should be
forgot,
able
that's a
to.
nifty app.
So 2d4,
Ratchet, no.
Hey.
Ratchet's up.
2d4.
Yeah.
I'm still learning how to use this. Joel knows how to use it better than I do. So it's a 4 and a 2. These do not come out super clear.
So 6 times 14?
So 6 times 14.
Yeah.
Math.
Is 84. Right?
Yes.
14 times 6?
Yeah.
Yep.
Or-
84. 84.
Yes.
So that means you're 194 pounds.
Whoa! Chunky.
That's,
A little bit bigger.
Oh, well, we could actually manually.
You
You
need
wanted
him.
this character to be malnourished.
Maybe this should just take the base weight almost.
Yeah, that sounds.
So 110
Or maybe,
pounds.
110
pounds at 5'11 is pretty tiny.
Yeah, actually, that's a little extreme. What, maybe like 120? 100? I don't know.
I'm 5'11, so I'm a 5'11. I'm 150 right now, 155.
Hell,
So,
you're malnourished. What's your deal?
huh?
Eat a hamburger. Eat
No,
a hamburger.
155.
We'll put weight on you.
I have weight on me.
You're too thin, boy. Too thin.
I do.
Eat a cake.
You should see my tummy.
Look at that. There's nothing. Eat a cake. Eat
Look
a
at that.
pie. Get some
No, that's not even
hamburgers in
malnourished.
you. Why don't you?
So what's
You're malnourished.
You can't tell me what to do. I'm
You're
going to.
wasting away.
I will not go to your Olive Garden. You're not going to sell me.
Hey, it's all you can eat.
I don't care. I obviously don't eat, and I refuse to.
You know where Mike should go? Soup, salad, and breadsticks at your local Olive Garden. That's right, your local Olive
I'm
Garden.
not going to
You
your
should
local
go-
Olive Garden.
You should go to your local Olive Garden. It's gonna be our new Roll With Us. It's just a promotional event. Alright. So, what about like 115? Let's go like 115.
Huh? 115?
That still seems so. Although, I mean, you're thinking like straight up malnourished, so
6 here. This is pretty.
12 Constitution.
I mean, you still have.
Yeah. Yeah, go for it. 110.
110?
It's a teeny tiny person. Although, well, okay, let's calculate it for if we rolled everything the worst. So 2d8, that would be 2.
2 times 4. Or 2 times.
2.
It's 4.
114 pounds. If you rolled the lowest possible.
Let's just do 115 then.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I weighed 130 in high school. 135?
Crazy. Just wasting away.
Oh, I mean, all I was like. I was
Teeny
super.
tiny.
Huh? I did
Teeny
sports.
tiny.
That's what kept me in a thin. So I just like eat all I wanted, but I'd never gain weight at that time.
Yeah.
Different story.
Cool. I think that's everything.
That looks like everything.
I mean, other than like, there's there's skills and there's there's skill proficiencies and there's equipment, but this is the real meat.
Unless anyone has any suggestions to add to any of these other things or more detail. Peter's gonna just nab Darby's phone.
Darth Remar would say closer to 120.
Okay, 120.
Well, we did go closer to 120.
Well, 115 is not
I
close.
don't know when he said this. He or she said this.
She is now 120 pounds.
Yeah, let's just.
Well, I'm 250, so I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm just. This is.
But you're not 5'11", are you?
I'm 6 foot.
Okay.
Darby is 8 feet tall. I
Yes.
am 9.
The camera takes up 50 pounds. And also about
I am actually morbidly obese. That's
we got the special magic reversing.
cameras.
These
That
beers
take-
here, we
take away my-
photoshopped out some of the beers that we've been drinking
And the camera takes away my quivering jowls.
The first time I've gotten bad apples from Trader Joe's.
Oh. Like, wait, how bad are we talking here?
Pretty bad.
Like, bad enough that Peter wouldn't eat it?
No, I don't eat them.
Okay.
I'm Nazi. I worked produce for a long time, and I'm very specific about my fruit, and I don't like to eat that. Like, fruit that isn't good,
Yeah.
but it's, I could probably tear them apart with my hands.
Oh, jeez. Okay, yeah, that's... Oh, well. Beggars can't be choosers.
Oh, that's right.
Okay.
Take a picture.
Yeah, take a
poor
picture.
man.
And then,
We're moving on to
Blizzard?
the Warlock.
Growth Lamar suggested 120.
Yeah. We put down the 120 after we were. Oh, sorry.
Whoa!
Sorry, guys. It's super shaky. I shouldn't do that.
Getting a bit of a jittery connection with my phone. As far as the video, it's like skipping and jumping for you, not the audio, but the actual video. Let me know.
That way we can fix it if we can.
I mean, it may just be the connection. I am hooked up to our Wi-Fi.
To the Warlock.
Alright, says somebody who shan't be named.
It's Kale.
Shh, shan't be named.
It's Kale.
alright.
So we know we're going with the old one.
I'm gonna say let's go with an elf.
Give me a second because I need to erase everything and rewrite it.
Like, metagame, good idea at all for the stat block, but who cares? We'll just do an elf.
Yeah.
And we'll make him a high elf.
The thing to remember is this game seems to be designed for for a 16 being a high step. Like, you're supposed to get a 20 when you get into like level 15 or something.
Right, like when you're getting like into...
Like some of the things that you go to like a 24.
Really?
Yeah, like the Barbarian when you reach level 20. So this is 20 level character. You get +2. You get +4 to Constitution and Strength.
Wow. Does it say that you can go beyond 20? With
Yeah,
the
it
ability?
specifically says now your maximums are 24 versus 20.
Wow, okay, yeah. It has to like specifically tell you.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like, because again, I think it's ridiculous. If like it's you're getting into ridiculous territory if it with any stat.
Well, that's super heroic. That's
Yeah.
the demigod area.
Yeah.
And it helps better define it rather than, other versions of D&D. God.
Well, that was part of the problem with Fourth was it was so easy to metagame your stats in that game because stat building was the recommended form of character building.
Yeah.
So you had like 20. You had to like map out like, and by this level I'll have this stat, so I'll be at this attack bonus, so I can hit these monsters, and my skills will be this, and they'll do this, and I'll have these feats so that I do this, and
That's unfortunate, because that's kind of how Pathfinder was always, too.
yeah. Oh, 3.5 did that a lot once.
Yeah.
Once it got about halfway through its run, and all those extra books came out.
Whoa! I just realized there's something that I don't think this character should be an elf. I forgot that.
Wait, what?
Trance.
I mean, a trance, but it's like that's just nah.
Okay,
This needs to be a character who sleeps.
You
This
can't
character
be a human.
This character needs to dream.
We do not. Oh, actually, we have one human, right?
A dwarf who's scared of the deep.
That would be actually pretty funny. Maybe we should just make him a human.
Okay.
Him or her.
Any suggestions for races? Not tieflings. We have
Except for tiefling, we've
We
no
have
tieflings.
actually,
I
we
don't
have a
know.
lot of dragonborns too.
I
Now,
think we've only got thought one.
2.
2?
1, 2?
1.
1. Is it just the one?
Emily made a Dragonborn, but that character isn't in the campaign.
Well, I thought we had one more. It's not any of Lauren's, right? Because she's...
No, she has
What's the sorcerer? Oh, that's the tiefling now. Martin, was it Martin who had one? No. Martin was here for the first week. Yeah.
The low dex cleric who was missing her tail.
So we don't have another Dragonborn, which...
That would be cool.
It might be interesting.
It's strength and charisma.
So metagame-wise, it's not probably the best.
Charisma?
Or do they?
I'm thinking like human or half elf.
Intelligence is their primary ability. No drow, unfortunately.
No.
Because it doesn't
No
work. Drow.
Not gonna do that. Not gonna do that. Or maybe a
They
gnome.
would get killed. We are playing...
No! Stop ganging up on me! No drow!
What about actually? Hey, let's go for a rock gnome. Or,
No, Phil, you don't get a vote either! No drow!
So wait, did
everyone
Kale
vote for
and
Drow now?
Bill vote against you?
And Darth Rumar.
Well, I figured he was the one who suggested
He
it.
did.
Well, that's why they're voting against you now. Chat that is
Too
true.
bad, guys. That is one thing that we established way early on, that this campaign does
No
not have
drow.
drow player characters.
It doesn't make
No drow.
sense.
No
We
drow.
are in the Forgotten Realms, and the Drow would be killed instantly.
Well, mainly to me, like I don't even care about like the reasoning. It's just like if a DM says you're not doing this race, out of mind it's like, well, it looks like we're not doing that race.
That is the
This
only
race option is not happening.
They're an inherently evil race.
What about Tristan?
You know what? He was evil too. He changed his alignment, which is why he went down a level. Drow equal instant death.
I'm actually thinking like maybe a rock gnome.
Rock gnome. Dark vision.
They're all. I mean, like rock gnomes are also kind of focused on like kind of like research and experimentation and stuff.
The Tinker attribute. Whenever you make an intelligence check related to magic items, you have twice your proficiency bonus instead of proficiency. That gives you con as your bonus stat. Fine, human or gnome or dragonborn.
But don't they finally agreed on that?
Yeah.
Okay. They're over the Drow.
You're with a drow.
Human or gnome? Actually, you know
As
what?
long as
Whatever.
we're all beyond Thunderdome.
Let's have. You know what? Let's have a regular. Let's have a regular ass. Part of my language. Let's have a human. Let's just do a human.
Okay.
Yeah.
+1 to all stats. Nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah. And I think I'm agreeing that like let's go with the sage background.
Okay.
Hermit would be interesting, but we already we've already played around with the hermit, and we haven't had a sage character. And a letter from a dead colleague posing a question you have not been able to answer. It's like too good, too good.
How many half-orcs do we have?
One.
Bard is a half-orc. So yeah, that's a thing.
I mean, you could consider half-orc.
That's true.
Half-orc magic user would be hilarious. I believe they call them stalwart wizards.
Huh. Half-orc warlock.
I mean, that would... Let's see. With warlocks, it's intelligence is their primary, but you can if you get a good stat.
Is that their... Oh, is it not charisma? It's intelligence?
It's intelligence. But wisdom and charisma are your saving throw stats.
Mm-hmm.
And... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Charisma is your primary. My
Okay,
mistake.
that's what I thought.
My mistake. I thought it said, when I was looking at the thing earlier, that wisdom or intelligence was your primary stat. Oh, I just wandered down and looked at it. +2 to strength, +1 to con.
Let's go with human. That would be silly, but I've already made a silly half-orc character. That character's already the bard is already inherently silly. Also pretty awesome.
To pick out for humans.
Yeah, there isn't really. It's just basically +1s.
Yeah.
Stats. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, straight +1.
You get an extra.
There is a variant.
Skills.
There's a variant that
Yeah.
suggests for if you're doing a game with feats that you just start with a 1+1 and a feat, but
Two +1s and a feat. Yeah.
Yeah,
We are going to use feats, but I don't.
Yeah, let's just
I
use
feel like
Starting
starting
with a
with
feat is
feats,
kinda ridiculous.
it opens up too much metagame. And that just,
too much.
just-
Yeah, I don't want to deal with that. So let's just do stats. Do you want me to use your dice rolly app?
Yeah, I would suggest you use it.
Okay.
Got in pretty good stats. 5.
There you go. 4d6. I just rolled an 11, so...
Is this still...
It's always locked to be oriented the right way, so you can hold it any way.
Cool. Okay. 4d6. Wait. Yeah, let's just do the stats first, and then we'll do the background stuff.
But we did decide on a race, which was human.
Human. Alright, let's get you in the numbers. We got 10. We got 12. We got 9.
It's not bad.
It's not great. It's not bad. Oh, there we go. Got 15.
There we are.
Here's a 9.
It's 10.
Those are all 10s.
Oh no, it's 10. It's 10. You're right. And
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, one more.
got 12.
Well, not the greatest stats, but not the worst either. So everything, so an 11, 13, 10, 16, 11, 13. So, I mean, those aren't bad stats.
Mm-hmm.
You've got one still high stat, no negatives.
Yeah, okay. I set that up for the
For the
sex.
You wanna
I
just
guess
do it
let's
now?
do it. Yeah, 1 is male, 2 is female. Let's do it. It's male. Okay. All right. Yeah, what are those stats going to be? Jeez.
So we have a male.
We got 16, so
16
I
for
guess that's your
charisma. That's going to be the charismas. Yeah, definitely.
And that's really starting stat.
Yeah.
For the +3.
Oh, yeah, that's pretty decent.
None of those stats are bad,
The
actually.
Kale blessing has failed us.
Let's give a 13 to intellect.
For your research.
Yeah. Let's give.
I don't think you're really going to be using your strength much. Your dex is going to affect your AC.
Oh, no, 'cause you
Some
can't wear
warlock
armor.
builds can kind of work with strength, but I'm not doing that. I'm thinking of a warlock go more towards like a Pact of the Tome or something.
Let's go to those for everybody. Here's the
let's-
first page for you guys.
Let's put the 13 on the wisdom. Let's make it a very heady character. 11 on con and 10 on strength.
Alright.
There we go.
Yeah, you get light armor. So.
Yeah.
But I mean, you can always pick up a few for for heavier armor.
Yeah, you can do that, and there is the Pact of the Blade thing, but I'm thinking this is more of a spellcastery type of character. I'm thinking going more, rather than Pact of the Blade, go with like Pact of the Tome, or maybe Pact. Which, for folks at home, there's different ways that your pact can kind of... Your pact can be different stuff, this pact with this otherworldly being. And you can have a pact where it's focused on you having a cool familiar and having cool familiar moves, stuff going on. There's one where you kind of like, you can create like a magic weapon just kind of in your hand, or you can make a weapon that you can kind of phase in and out of existence, and that's pretty cool. Or there's Pact of the Tome where you have this like Book of Shadows that you get like extra spells from and stuff. So I think I would probably go for the Tome one, especially if we're going with the Sage background. I think we're going to do it. Sage background, there is a D8 for the specialty, but do we want to think like kind of... Actually, yeah, maybe we should just roll it. Here, I can just roll on the table if you want to keep stuff up on the thing.
Looking for what now?
For the Sage specialty.
Let me go.
6 was recommended for specialty.
And I am going to agree with that. I think Researcher would be good. Researcher, Librarian, Discredited Academic. Those ones would be... it would be like between Researcher. Someone already recommended that? Let's do it. That's kind of what we're going for anyway.
Astronomer I also liked.
Yeah. That's,
Okay, so
I've seen the truth
seen
in the
beyond,
stars.
beyond the
you're a
stars.
sage?
Yeah, Sage, and then you might just put a dash next to it, just Researcher.
What number?
A 6 Researcher.
Summon some Elder Tokens on the board.
I'm going to suggest... Should I just roll with the dice? I can just roll with the dice.
I roll, yeah.
Which one is my D? That's
That is a
D10.
D8 is a diamond.
There it is. I'm just going to roll these out. And of course, make suggestions. I just want to see what the rolls are going to be. Let's look at the personality trait.
6 personality trait would be hilarious, so they'd probably get killed.
That one is cool, it's just that would also be really annoying to roleplay.
I speak slowly when speaking
Oh
to
my God.
idiots.
I'm sorry,
which
but I
is
think...
almost everyone compared to me. See, what's funny is this was actually written improperly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's also grammatically incorrect. I'm sorry, but I rolled a 7, and I think that would be amazing. Horribly awkward in social situations.
For trait?
Yeah.
And somebody corrects
Which
me.
kind of works as 6 too. I feel like 6 and 7 are very similar.
Seven's kind of funny because it's like somebody calls you on it and you're like, well, it doesn't matter. The world's ending soon anyway. Revenge!
Just basically like, hello, sir. How are you? You're going to die soon. What?
The end is nigh.
Don't. My friend here is. Die. You're immortal. Shut up.
Oh, I just
Shut
watched.
up.
I just watched the Cthulhu episodes of South Park yesterday. Oh, those are so good.
So I'm just gonna lay that. I think that the die is spoken. 7 horribly awkward social situations.
8 was suggested by Slash.
8. I'm convinced that people are always trying to steal my secrets. Oh, that is also a good one.
I don't know how paranoid. It makes some sense but I think he'd be more paranoid. People are trying to kill him.
Yeah, that makes sense. Actually, especially with a pact with an elder god, you don't want. Well, I can see that working because then you don't want them to steal the secrets, not because you think that they're, but because you know things that no one should know. They are unknowable things. No one should know there are some things that should remain undreamt by man.
That would actually,
So actually that works. So
that would
also
make a
works
pretty
very
great
well.
dynamic if you had the druid who's trying to enter your dreams and figure you out.
No! You know what? Okay, yeah.
You just keep the totem by you to ward off.
All right, now let's go with it. Let's go with it. Convince the people who are trying to steal the secret.
You're already.
Oh, yeah, I mean, actually, maybe... I don't know. Like, I mean, the dice roll was 7. But, and, like, 7 is good. How would that work? Convince the people? Yeah, let's go with 8. Let's go with 8. You're already right. Yeah, do it.
Okay, so ideal 4 or 5 was suggested.
4 or 5.
I like 4.
Nothing should fetter the infinite possibility inherent in all existence. Oh, that's so optimistic, though.
Nothing should fetter the infinite possibilities inherent in all existence.
So wait, 4 or 5?
I would actually go with 5, not like, but in like a pessimistic sense. Like 5 is this declaration that's made in a very sad tone. Like not saying like, you know, because like, knowledge is the path to power and domination, power that I hold. But instead there's a character basically saying that just like, knowledge is the path to power and domination. No one should know.
But it does have the evil intent suggested for it too, which is interesting.
Well, yeah, because I
Yeah.
mean, of course, it's suggested and it would be assumed in many characters it would be based on, you know, it would be basically a character trying to gather and kind of keep it.
You know,
as
actually,
power.
a series that did that exceptionally well, I think, which was Bleach, with one of the captains. One of the captains is part of the experimental division, and his morality is essentially like it's all about research and figuring out these things.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, the ethics of the situation are debatable, you know?
Yeah.
I won't go into details to ruin plots or anything for anyone else, but it kind of got the same idea where knowledge and that's all wisdom. Like, the aspect, the search for, you know, knowledge will give us better answers to solve our problems and stuff like that.
I also can't help but read that number 5 as like in a very Nietzschean sense because we're already we're dealing with Lovecraft, so we're dealing with Nietzsche. And here, you know, I'm just thinking.
Book of Ancient Secrets. It was being suggested for when you get to level 3.
Oh, that was what I was thinking most definitely. I was thinking of there is no good and evil, only will to power. Yeah, it's like that's basically so. Like basically, number 5 is like a Nietzsche statement. I would go with 5 actually.
5?
Okay. Let's go with it. 5 power.
I mean, that is research is how he gained his power. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably we could think of this character as maybe having kind of like a less nuanced idea of that at first. Knowledge is the key to power, and I just want power. Maybe that's research trying to delve into arcane knowledge, and then he realized maybe you don't want power.
But at what cost?
At what cost? He went too deep.
So Bond 2 and 6 were suggested.
2 and 6.
Oh man, 2. It's 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 2. There you go.
Yeah.
Good call, guys. 2. It's 2. I have an ancient text that holds ancient text with Tyranny. You can just write that. Because with the character you do
Would
the...
you guys look up a trinket that matches that for us?
Give me a second, guys.
They can do it.
Huh?
They've got books.
Oh, well, anyone who doesn't have a book who may be watching.
Oh, okay.
Well, didn't somebody else already suggest the horrific statuette that gives nightmares?
Yeah, but I don't know. I think that's there's some.
Yeah, there might be a possibility. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, and then recommended.
Most people scream and run.
Yeah, I mean
that works. I just want to roll it just to see what happens with this one. I want to roll some of this because it is good to just have randomized stuff. I like taking suggestions, but I also like.
I also like 3 actually.
I just rolled a 1. I'm easily distracted by the promise of information. And what did you say? 3. Unlocking an ancient mysteries with the.
Actually, as far as flaws go, 4 is really good too. Like 4 feels like a real flaw. Where
Yeah.
you're like kind of a conspiracy theorist, where you're like, oh, I know why these goblins are attacking this village. It's all a conspiracy from the dragon
That
on
is-
Red Hill. He wants these goblins to distract. There, and it's like, well, actually, the
And I
goblins
like
are just
that
doing this
reading.
because they're hungry.
Wait, which
What
number?
I'm seeing and like
Number
what
4.
what we're crafting here, like I'm seeing just like I don't know, a very fearful character, a character that's very fearful, which I would actually really like to kind of have involved in role play because I feel like whenever we do D&D, it's like it's just a bunch of really big, powerful characters, powerful personalities, really intense personalities where they're all very confident, they're all kind of brave, or that kind of stuff. And like, what about straight up cowards? Who are in there just because, honestly, because they have nothing and nowhere else to go. Like, this kind of character. And so I'm thinking maybe that, because in that, like, because yeah, 1 and 2 feel like it's more of an oblivious character, just like the bookworm character. And so actually, I like that suggestion for complicated ones more. It couldn't be that simple. No, there's something else at play here.
The torch went out. Well, it probably just burned down. No. Normally the torches last for 4 hours. This one would last up to 3.5. Something's amiss.
And like 6 doesn't work at all. That would just be ridiculous. Then 5. Yeah, we'll say, yeah. 4. Just go with 4. Complicated solutions or. Any suggestions on the trinket?
So we got 30, 85, and 88. 30 is said to be better. Oh yeah, that's right.
Like-
That's the one.
Oh,
Yeah, we
the
talked
book!
about that one earlier.
A diary with 7 missing pages. A book that tells the story of a legendary hero's rise and fall with the last. That one was pretty funny.
Which one?
That's 88, a book that, but yeah, it was 30 was
It's
suggested.
the blank
30,
book.
30 was suggested again. Oh, and you rolled it before, and I was like, oh, you gotta take it, but you could win with, you know what? Well, now, and then 30 was suggested. I think the blank book.
Dr. Orange and Lash both agree. I think on 30.
Yeah, yep.
And I think
we're
the
going with the book.
mystical aspect works even better than the other two.
Oh yeah, and you could do all sorts. Or never explain it.
Or never explain.
Never
Never
explain.
come up.
Okay. I think it seems pretty solid on a 30 here. So
Turns out to be a Horcrux. Oh man!
Oh man, destroyed this when I found it. It's a lich phylactery,
Oh man!
and everything you write into it becomes knowledge for the lich.
Yeah.
it's twist.
What's a twist? What a twist?
So you still
Oh,
need your
height
height
and
and weight, and your age,
Oh yeah, age, which is
I
not
think probably on the older side for this one.
older side, most definitely. So I'm thinking, I mean, like at least in the 40s. Yeah, not super old. $43,
42.
not 42.
2.5, 42.1.
43. And then where's our backgrounds? There it is. Human.
45.
Base height is 4 feet 8 inches. Height modifier is 2d10.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys know. The trinkets is actually a.
Is it a towel?
No, but it is a reference.
It's a reference to the Hitchhiker's
to the
Guide. Yeah,
Hitchhiker's Guide.
I pointed out. I think last stream was
I
it?
think so.
Yeah, I think you did. I
Or
forget
actually,
what it
I
is
don't
now,
know if it
though.
was during the stream. I think you might have just pointed it out while we were all hanging out.
Yeah.
No, sorry, not 42.
No, it was in the magic. It was in the magic.
Yeah.
Wild magic.
Oh, it's in the wild magic table. Yeah.
You turn into a potted plant, and then plant. It's 42 to 43, I think, by the rolls.
That's what it was.
Oh, just getting tall here. That's 16 inches on top of the base of 4'8". So that's 5'8", That's 6 feet. So he's 6 feet tall. Exactly. Okay. And 2d4. Very tall and thin, apparently. And so then that's 3, or maybe not actually, because I forgot this is super high. So that's 16 times 3 is 40, 158 pounds.
No, that's pretty.
Actually, yeah,
that's pretty fit.
Yeah. You always have to be ready to run. Cool. Done deal.
Unless there's any other suggestions to wrap up this character.
Oh, you do have to pick a patron at first level. Oh, whatever.
You have to what?
I thought you picked a patron at level 3, but you actually picked it.
No. That just affects your whole character.
Yeah.
Should we put your patron down then? Should I put that?
Oh,
should that be
yeah,
your
you
parentheses
should.
up here?
Yeah, you can put in parentheses, great old one.
I may pick a specific one. I may just make one up as we go.
It doesn't really have to be known. Yeah.
Like I have a group of online skit comedians I really enjoy at Loading Ready Run. They have several skits wherein they make up old of bad parking or the god of lost songs.
Oh, like the hay bale god you're talking about.
Yeah, the hay bale god. It's like, oh, hay bale!
If there are no other suggestions, this is going to be a snapped photo.
Yeah.
We'll move on to our wizard.
Although, geez, we're at 10. That's so crazy when you've got that great old one packed. Yeah, you can just communicate telepathically with anything. Like that's just whatever you want. It's so weird.
So this is our last character.
But
For the adventure!
For the
Unless
adventure.
everyone dies.
all 12 possible
All
characters.
12 characters.
Multiple
we
party
may-
wipes.
Well, really, we'd only have to lose 9 of them.
It's multiple party wipes. Just every session, it's a party wipe.
So we haven't had any elves yet?
No, we did. No full elves. I did half elf.
Yeah, we only got one half
So if we wanted
elf.
to do human.
Do elf for the sake of having everything.
Doesn't really make sense.
And forget it. Sometimes elves can be kind of boring to roleplay anyway. They can be interesting, but you know what? Maybe we're just not having a party with elves.
This is Presto the Magnificent. He's never boring to roleplay.
Well, of course. But, like, is he an elvish
So
character?
Darby's got an idea for this character, and he hasn't shared it with anybody else yet. So
So, Presto the Magnificent.
Human. It sounds like he's
Yeah, human was what I was going to go
or halfling.
or orc.
Halfling wizard? Gnome wizard?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can still go with that orc man, that half orc.
Well, it sounds like halfling or human.
That actually would be pretty funny. And it was suggested.
That the orc.
Yeah.
Oh, the half-orc caster, Presto the Magnificent.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think that.
Oh, behold Presto.
Okay, fine. We'll go with a half orc.
Unless someone has a greater idea.
Half
That
elf,
was-
half elf wizards get an extra cantrip. So do elf wizard or high elf. He did say high elf. Okay, I just read this half for some reason.
Who's suggesting that?
Slash.
If Presto and Check were ended up being chosen in the party, then they'd just be like constantly chest bumping like all the time, like yeah, bro.
It's unfortunate though. You don't get bonus weapon proficiencies for being a half-orc.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you were an elf, you get bonus longsword proficiency, so you could be a wizard who uses a longsword.
Right, and the half-orc gets all these bonuses for like doing melee attacks and stuff, but then they don't get any bonus proficiency. So if you are a class that doesn't really have like, because you just have to use a staff all the time. Like,
Screen reset down to the middle. I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
I'll go fix it.
It's so ugly. Oh gosh.
You're gonna say how did I die?
Almost to the wizard. Pretty wizard. Constitution modifier. Let's see. Daggers, darts, slings, quarterstaffs, light crossbows. Cantrips.
It is stuck though, which is interesting.
Arcane traditions. Second level, you get whatever. Probably be conjuration. Possibly evocation. Okay, so yeah, Presto the Magnificent is the quintessential performing wizard.
so we're talking
Where-
like a Jim Dark Magic, essentially.
No,
I mean, of course, like not the same, but
Jim Dark Magic, he has some of the attributes where like he goes at bars and like he performs with his cantrips, but this is more like
he's
like
literally a street performer.
well, yeah, like that too. But that's the character. Like when he's fighting monsters,
It's a
he
Awesome,
his
awesome.
spells have flashing lights and he he plays music and stuff. Like,
awesome.
Kind of like Skeeve.
Oh my
Sounds
god,
like.
I would, man, like a Check the Bard and Presto the Wizard combo would be incredible. Every battle would be a show.
when I originally created
They'd be best
Presto,
friends, like-
Yeah.
He was envisioned because it was in an online role play. He had a magic cloak that could make things disappear and put them into an alternate dimension. And so he would just he would knock out monsters and just make them disappear in alternate dimensions. and stuff.
Abracadabra.
I make this giant monster disappear. And then the cloak could change sizes, and it was just nuts.
Perfect.
And then later I created him in another one, again, where it was this universe with limited magic. And so he used clockwork materials to replicate magic to put on street performance shows. He's a who's a lot of fun to play because while you can do the serious stuff while letting you have the levity necessary to just sort of go crazy with the character.
That sounds fun. Sounds like a lot of fun.
Because a lot of wizards, they just get too stuffy.
Yeah. It just gets a little ridiculous of just I cast magic missile. Yeah, it's just like everything becomes this big epic thing because everybody wants to be gay. It's get a little tiring.
I am a conjurer of cheap tricks.
That's pretty much my whole thing. That's my bag. Magic bag. Magic marbles!
That's, I think, can be referenced a little too often in our campaign. Just Tic-Tone, not the magic marbles, but Tic-Tone in general.
Magic marbles have been referenced, I think, 4 times already.
Yeah.
The Tic-Tone guys are... I ordered a shirt from them, and it never showed up. And so I just sent them an email saying, here's the order number, and I ordered this like a month ago. What happened? They're like, oh, sorry, we've been overwhelmed with doing a bunch of Kickstarter stuff. We're sending it to you and with a free DVD. I'm like, whoa, cool, thanks, guys. Super nice. So now we'll have a Tic-Tone DVD.
It's too bad.
On cue, every time we quote it.
Oh, yeah.
Wizards, unfortunately, only start with 3 cantrips.
Really?
Yeah, that's kind of sad.
It's more than the other. That is more than the other classes. I don't think any other class starts with.
I mean, I guess it
They
kind
usually
of
start with
balances
2.
it. since you can cast them as many times as you want, it sort of balances.
I think they kind of nerfed cantrips where it's like you can cast them whenever you want, but you only have you're kind of limited. So 3 is actually been combined together.
Mm-hmm.
Like I noticed that like one of the cantrips is minor illusion, and you can make and that's like you can do a sound. You can basically do ghost sound, or you can do like a visual illusion. It's pretty cool. So they kind of consolidated some of the cantrips, which is cool. I just really like. So what kind of? So would he be? Would Presto be an enchantment wizard?
Starting at second level, when you select this school, you can use your action to conjure up an inanimate object in your hand or on the ground in an unoccupied square.
It's so cool. Yeah, I think, bam! You know, you can use the cloak and stuff, and just like flowers. Yeah, flowers, just like whatever. Yeah, so I think, I agree. Conjuration.
It disappears after 1 hour or it takes damage. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes,
you can just keep making stuff. It's great.
The half orc too. I think that's highly amusing.
Awesome.
Any other newer suggestions, or that seem like?
Nothing yet. I'm kind of surprised. Let me just give this a refresh.
Yeah, this is usually the one of the most played classes, I think, in D&D, right?
No, I would say the rogue is one of the most played classes.
I agree.
Because people really like to be the guy that does damage.
Yeah. Also, they're just rife. They're just replete with opportunity to just be such a cool character. You can be dark and brooding, or you can be charismatic and cool. And like it's just basically rogues are cool. Rogues are cool.
Who doesn't want to be Han Solo?
Yeah, exactly. Like it's like basically being Han Solo. It's like yes, everyone would like to be Han Solo because Han Solo's awesome.
All right. So that's the background for you stats.
Oh yeah, what kind of background does Presto get? Entertainer?
Entertainer or charlatan? I'm going to take a
Oh, charlatan!
Yeah, we don't have that.
That would be interesting. That would make sense.
So you're set on the half orc though?
I think so.
Okay.
I think that really works just from a roleplay perspective of sort of that larger than life, like deal character.
Right, and it almost works because it seems like half-orcs would just, like, in almost any universe are kind of dealing with, like, a lot of interesting kind of race politics going on. And so, I'm just going to put it out there, essentially, like, if you're a big, big personality type half-orc, then it's almost like the minstrel show mechanic, kind of like, oh, you have to perform, perform because everyone's has all these weird expectations of you because you have and stuff, like all of those kinds of things are going on. Half-orcs seem like a really interesting opportunity for roleplay in terms of just dealing with that, because I always find that, like, D&D settings are just interesting, where it's like, man, there's entirely different species of sentient beings hanging out with each other. Like, that would be weird and interesting and problematic. Humans already have so much trouble interacting. There's one species. There's not even. There's no difference, and we still just by living on different places in the world, we have so much issue dealing with each other. What if you had to deal with dwarves? What if you had to deal with elves? Like, that would just be weird. That would be hard. Like, we would have
creatures that live like 1 to 300 years longer than you.
Yeah.
Like, how would humans deal with that? Like,
They don't. They just kill themselves.
We're overpopulated. I think charlatan works better than entertainer.
I agree.
Just taking a quick look at the identities and things. I mean, the false identity feature kind of works, where there's like this half orc has sort of adopted the identity of Presto the Magnificent.
Yeah.
So that said, why don't we go ahead and just do stats, and we'll just roll this up afterwards.
All right. Well, let's see.
I have a joke for every occasion, especially occasions where humor is inappropriate. Lie about almost everything, even when there's no good reason to.
The battery is running a little low, so.
Okay.
If I pop it out, I think it's gonna detach.
No,
But
no,
let me see.
it's fine.
Oh, you got
Let's
it?
go with it.
Okay. Where was I? I was over here.
Woo!
Wow.
So starting off with an 18.
Booyakasha. Oh, that's good. I was hoping you'd get stat block where you can also, like...
Yeah, so now,
You
there's
can
your wizard!
So you can hopefully... Yeah, I mean, that's going to be your intellect, but, like, hopefully...
20 strength! Rolling! 13.
Nice. Because I was hoping you can get a character with high charisma, too. Like, that would be nice.
13.
Alright. Okay.
It should have been a human.
12.
12, yeah.
One
Right,
more.
all of 13's a human.
There it is.
5, okay.
6. No, 6.
Oh, 6, you're right, yes.
It's the same.
That's like the popular role for every character. They have like at least one, like a 6. Like that seems to be like the bad stat that comes up. But that's crazy.
That 18 into intelligence right off. We'll just
Right off the bat.
plug it in there.
So wait, what are the stat bonuses? It's like +2 to strength and
Plus 1 to con.
and +1 to con. Okay.
Say that again.
So
+2 to what?
plus
Strength?
2 to strength, plus 1 to constitution.
So you could,
You could just
strength,
put that
strength could just
6
be your
in.
jump stat and just
I'm
get them
thinking
to make it
maybe. Well, no, I'm thinking you just do a 14 in strength. Con.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and then give him like a 6 wisdom.
Oh, that's really good for the character. That makes sense. He's not wise at all. Yeah.
So
yeah.
you want the 18 though in intelligence, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like 6 wisdom. That's perfect.
So that leaves him with a 6. I mean, yeah, he can't really get any higher for his dex. So yeah, let's go for a 13 in dex. And then let's double check what wisdom supports for skills.
It's like perception, insight. Teens, I think for it sounds like this is a character that you want a 13 for charisma.
Insight, medicine, perception. Well, I mean, he could also just be super annoying. Like, maybe he's got a 6 in charisma because nobody
That could
likes
be-
him.
yeah.
He's always
So
always
he's just
using
a
his
really-
magic at inappropriate times.
He's just a really horrible charlatan. He's just not very good at all.
It's like, it's like somebody, he does farting noises when people sit down. Like, it's with a virtual whoopee cushion.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Her wisdom, let's see. Charisma, deception, intimidation, performance, persuasion, or insight, perception, medicine, survival.
And if you're choosing a charlatan, one of your skill proficiencies is in deception.
Oh, let's go ahead and go to the 6 in wisdom. 13 for charisma. And then 13 for strength.
So it turns it
Or
to
sorry,
15.
12 for strength
Okay.
and 13 for con.
That turns it to a 14. Wait.
So his strength would be plus
15.
2, so 12 to a 14, and then...
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's 14.
that's right. Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
right.
So
That's
yeah.
right. Wow, that's actually the most like physically fit wizard I've ever seen. Like in previous editions and like previous stat in World, I don't know. Whenever there's a wizard, they're just like the most weakly little guy around. Which just because you have to like dump stuff into the other stats, but like this is a very physically fit wizard. Like he does his reps.
Second edition, I had a fighter with a 20 intelligence. It was a gnome fighter. People were like, why didn't you play a wizard? And I'm like, I don't want to be some stupid illusionist. Playing a 20 intelligence fighter is hilarious.
You know
A
tactics,
14
son.
strength.
You know tactics.
Game's chance. Oh, got you. Got you.
Yeah,
yes.
you got to choose a
Yes.
scam.
Yes.
So we can either take the, I'm glad there's suggestions.
Yeah, that 5 also seemed like a really good one.
Oh, yeah.
I convince people that worthless junk is worth their hard-earned money. He wouldn't be able to identify that it was.
Well, that could be you basically.
No, you could, because
you
isn't
could-
that intel? Isn't that intelligence technically?
I guess. Yeah.
Well, what the scam could be is since you're conjuration based, you conjure these small items, you sell them to people, and then you just run away. And then a minute later, it just disappears. Like, what? Because it is worthless junk. It doesn't exist.
Just makes a rock look like a box or something, and then
Find the card. Find the card.
Well, you can make like elaborate stuff. Like, look at this beautiful like statue. Like, it looks.
But illusionary stuff isn't actual physical, is it?
No, it is.
Is it? Okay.
Because he's a conjuration. It just
Oh,
makes
he's conjuration.
Unless
Yeah.
they can see through the illusion. Of
Oh,
smart
yeah.
enough to see.
No, but it's not an illusion.